Hello, I'm Juliana Kawauchi from Let's Study Kaiwa. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. And today I will present you with some tips on how to improve your TOEFL writing skills. More specifically, task number 2, which is the independent writing. In this video, I'm going to cover the whole essay, which includes the introduction, the body paragraphs, and the conclusion. I'm going to teach you how to write a proper thesis sentence, which in my opinion is the most important part of your essay, because it not only introduces the main idea of your writing, but it also reflects your judgment, your standpoint on the given topic. Also, I would like to highlight that there are many different teaching styles, different learning styles. I am going to pass on to you today what worked for me as a student and what has been working for my students. So I really hope you find this helpful. So without further ado, let's get started. I mentioned before the importance of the thesis sentence, the thesis statement, because as I said, it states your opinion on the given topic and introduces the main idea. So always try to stay sharply focused on the prompt. When you start your writing, take a look every now and then on what you have written to see if it really addresses the task, because TOEFL is a very long test. It's a timed test, so we are under a lot of stress. Sometimes we start writing and we start inserting ideas that are actually not related to the prompt. And when you realize this, it's too late. And then you probably don't have time to start over again. So instead of revising your writing only at the end, try to do that maybe after every paragraph or every couple of sentences. Of course, keep an eye on the clock, because you don't want to spend too much time revising before you finish, or you will not be able to finish at all, okay? Well, let's get started. Let's take a look at our writing topic, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the thesis and the introduction. So our writing topic is, do you agree or disagree with the following statements? Parents are the best teachers. Use specific reasons and examples to support your ideas. Take a look at the two thesis statements that I prepared. The first one, very simple. I just repeated some words from my prompt, from the question, and I used them in my answer. So I agree that parents are the best teachers. Very simple. It's clear that I agree with the passage. The second one, I used a little bit more of emphasis. I said, I truly believe that parents are the best teachers a child can have. I added a couple more words. Very simple. The same thing. I not only introduced the topic, but I also stated my opinion. Now, I am ready not to start my writing. I personally like to make an outline before. So why make an outline? I personally find it very hard to come up with a main idea, secondary ideas, supporting ideas, examples from scratch. So if I have something to look back at, the ideas, the main ideas that I want to insert in my composition, for me it's much easier to come up with examples and to let my ideas flow better. So I take about 2 minutes to write my outline and not more than 1 minute to write my thesis statement. So I have already used 3 minutes out of 30 that I have in this section. Now I can start my writing, which I would take about 23 minutes to write. And then 23 plus 3, this means that I have taken 26 minutes. I'm sorry, my maths is not very good, but 26 minutes out of 30. So I still have 4 minutes left at the end of my writing to revise it. So 4 minutes should be more than enough if you have every once in a while revised your writing before, okay? Well, let's get started. Take a look at my outline here. I just wrote words. I used arrows, abbreviations. You don't want to write sentences because you don't want to waste too much time. So you're just going to write words that will help you remember what you want to write about, what you should include in your piece of writing. Take a look. I wrote parents play a vital role because they mold a child's character and personality. I also said that they teach integrity and accountability. And I believe that loving parents, they tend to dialogue with their kids, and this leads to children that are more confident, okay? And as adults, they have more self-awareness and social awareness. So these are the supporting ideas that I want to insert in my piece of writing. Now it's easier to come up with examples and explanations for my opinion because I already know what I'm gonna use. Now let's move on. Well, now that I have my thesis, I have my outline, I'm going to start working on background information for the introduction. What is this? It's a catchy sentence. I'm gonna put a startling fact or something that will really grab my reader's attention, okay? And keep him interested in my writing. So, a background information. Let's take a look at what I wrote. And here, let me take a look here because I do not remember things. I don't have a good memory, okay? So I'm gonna do the reading with you guys. Look at my introduction. Parents play a vital role in every child's life. They help their children develop from birth and therefore are the first role models children have from an early age. They help develop their children's personality and character by teaching them basic values such as honesty, integrity, and accountability. So I truly believe that parents are the best teachers a child can have. Very simple, direct. I included all the points that I want to discuss about in my during my composition. So you include your points, but you don't give details. The introduction is really just an idea of what the reader is gonna have throughout the composition. So you can also see that I use transitional words like therefore, such as, and so. These words, they help you link your information in a more natural way. And I'm going to make a video about these transitional words and how to use them in the future, okay? As you can realize, I inserted my thesis statement at the very end, all right? So it's very important that you insert it somewhere at the end, okay? After, I'm gonna start my body paragraph. Your body paragraph, it can include from 2 to 3 paragraphs. It depends on how much you have to write about the secondary ideas. If you can come up with a lot of examples, good explanations, 2 secondary ideas is fine. I personally like to work with 3 secondary ideas because if for some reason I cannot come up with many examples, I will have a lot to write about on 3 and I will reach the number of words required. Now let's take a look at my first body paragraph, okay? Here I started with a transitional word which is most important. I want to highlight what is my most important aspect of what I mentioned in the introduction. One of the most important things a parent can teach a child is how to be self-confident as they grow. Loving parents who tend to communicate well with their children by encouraging them to speak and teach their children empathy tend to raise more secure children. This quality is crucial because people who are self-confident are more likely to develop emotional intelligence, which is greatly important to help you communicate effectively and be self and socially aware. These are important skills considering that living in this world means interacting with many different types of people, as well as dealing with constant changes and surprises around us. So here I included some of my ideas, okay? And I give examples. Why are they important? I mentioned emotional intelligence, the importance of communicating and dealing with different types of people. So I used my outline to add more information. Let's move on to my second paragraph. Second body paragraph, which is actually the third paragraph, right? Because I have already written the introduction, first body paragraph, and now I'm going to the second body paragraph. I started with another transitional word, which means that I am adding information. Moreover, parents should teach basic values such as integrity and accountability. In our current world, issues such as prejudice and bullying are increasing through time. I believe that by teaching respect and kindness, and that people are different and should not be judged because of their differences, these issues would decrease. Considering that a child's personality begins to form at an early age and goes all the way to 9 or 12 years of age, parents play a major role in teaching these basic values. So again, I inserted one of my ideas that was in the outline, integrity and accountability, and I gave reasons of why they are important to be taught, and that they must be taught at a very early age. And since parents are the first ones to have contact with the children, they should start teaching this from birth. Well, let's move on. My third body paragraph, again, a linking word, last but not least. We could also start with finally. Well, last but not least, parents must teach their children to be accountable for their actions and behavior. This is important when children begin socializing with other children. It helps every child understand cause and effect and how the choices they make have consequences as they grow. It also helps them take ownership of the decision and choices made by them. So in this passage, I also talked about accountability, but I added more information to this. I did not repeat anything that was mentioned before. So it's okay to repeat an idea as long as you are going to give more information about it. You are going to make your writing richer, okay? But redundancy is not good, okay? So just repeating the same ideas over and over again, don't do that. Well, now let's move on to my conclusion. The conclusion is only supposed to restate the points that you have mentioned before. Okay, so it starts saying that in conclusion, the most important values taught to children come from their parents because they must be taught at a very early age. So parents have the utmost responsibility to help their children shape these values and what they stand for. Something very simple and direct that restated my beliefs. Okay, so this is your conclusion. You guys enjoyed this and you found it helpful. If you have any questions, please ask me. I would love to give you a feedback, clarify anything that hasn't been clarified yet, and also listen to your suggestions on how to improve. How do you improve your writing skills? So thank you very much for watching my video. I wish you guys the best, and I really hope this was helpful. Bye-bye.